The Ancient Ramin, a true tale of darkness and haunting. Nestled in the village of Wotton-Under-Edge in Gloucestershire, the ancient Ramin stands as a testament to centuries of history, mystery, and terror. This 12th century inn has long been infamous for its reputation as one of the most haunted locations in England. Over the years, it has drawn countless visitors, some seeking the thrill of the paranormal, others desperate to uncover the dark truths that linger within its walls. The chilling stories surrounding the ancient Ramin are not merely the stuff of legend, they are deeply rooted in unsettling events and experiences that continue to plague the building to this day. While many old buildings have earned ghostly reputations, few have a past so entwined with death, suffering, and the supernatural as the ancient Ramin. To understand the haunting of this strange and eerie place, one must look at its troubled history, one that includes tales of witchcraft, sacrifices, and dark rituals. The ancient Ramin was built in 1145 and has served many purposes over the centuries. Originally a farmhouse, it later became an inn that catered to travellers making their way through the region. However, its most infamous history is linked to its time as a site of occult practices and unspeakable horrors. For much of its existence, the building has been rumoured to have served as a place for dark rituals, particularly during the medieval period. Local legends speak of the inn being built atop an ancient pagan burial ground, a site long considered sacred and cursed by the local community. The original owners of the inn, it is said, were heavily involved in witchcraft and dark occult practices, and they would conduct their rituals in secret rooms and hidden chambers within the inn's walls. One of the most chilling aspects of the inn's history is its association with a series of tragic deaths and disappearances. It is believed that the inn was used for human sacrifice, particularly during the witch hunts and the trials of the 16th and 17th centuries. In some accounts, the inn's upper rooms were said to be used for ceremonial practices and ceremonial sacrifice, with the victims being young women who had been accused of witchcraft. These rituals, performed by local occultists, were designed to summon spirits and seek favour from dark forces. Perhaps the most terrifying aspect of the inn's past involves the presence of a former priest who once lived there. Some stories suggest that this priest was a practitioner of black magic and that he used the inn as a location for satanic rites. It is said that his dark influence and presence still linger in the inn, causing heavy, oppressive atmosphere that has led to many to describe the building as a place of pure evil. Today, the ancient Ramin is a place of legend, and those brave enough to step inside often find themselves face to face with the supernatural. The building is said to be inhabited by numerous spirits, some friendly but most malevolent, whose restless souls cannot find peace. Over the years, visitors and former owners have reported a staggering number of paranormal occurrences, from eerie noises to physical encounters with the unknown. Here are some of the most chilling experiences that have been reported by those who dared to spend time within its walls. The ghost of the priest. The most famous and most feared ghost in the ancient Ramin is that of the priest who is said to have practiced black magic in the building. His spirit is often felt in the inn's darkest corners, particularly in the upper rooms and in the chapel area. Visitors describe feeling an overwhelming sense of dread when they enter these spaces, as if something is watching them. Some claim to have seen a shadowy figure dressed in priestly robes lurking in the corners, its face obscured by darkness. One particularly harrowing encounter was reported by a former caretaker of the inn, who described an incident where he was alone in the building late at night. As he entered the chapel, he felt a cold, heavy presence settle over him. Suddenly, the doors to the room slammed shut, trapping him inside. As he tried to open them, he was struck by an icy chill and heard whispers in a language he could not understand. Panicked, he managed to break free, but the experience left him shaken to his core. He never returned to the inn. Another well-known apparition at the ancient Ramin is that of a woman dressed in a long flowing white gown. This spirit is believed to be the ghost of a woman who was either a servant or one of the victims of the inn's dark past. The ghostly lady is often seen in the inn's hallways and stairwells, moving silently but purposefully, as if searching for something or someone. Several visitors have reported seeing her gliding down the stairs or standing at the foot of the bed where they were sleeping. Her face, although almost hidden often, is said to be pale, and her eyes, when they are visible, are described as hollow and lifeless. Some claim that she exudes a deep sadness, while others believe she is still searching for something lost in the past. There are even accounts of guests waking up in the middle of the night to find her standing at the edge of their bed, watching them silently before vanishing. Perhaps the most terrifying stories associated with the ancient Ramin come from the stable, which is located behind the main building. The stable, now a dark and neglected space, is said to be home to a powerful demonic presence. In some versions of the tale, it is believed that the demon was summoned during one of the inn's many occult ceremonies, and that it still resides in the stable, waiting for its next victim. Those who have ventured into the stable often report feeling an intense sense of fear and suffocation, as if the very air is thick with something malevolent. Some claim to have seen glowing eyes watching them from the darkness, while others hear growling sounds or scratching noises coming from the walls. One visitor described waking up and walking to the stable, feeling as if they were being pushed back. An invisible force urged them to leave. When they finally turned to leave, they reported feeling a sudden sharp pain in their chest, as though they had been struck by an unseen hand. The ancient Ramin is not merely a place of isolated hauntings, it is a building that seems to hold a deep supernatural weight. The inn has been home to a multitude of paranormal occurrences, from objects moving of their own accord to the disembodied sounds of footsteps echoing through empty rooms. One of the most disturbing facts about the inn is that many of its ghosts seem to interact with the living, as if they are trying to communicate or even seek revenge for the wrongs of the past. One chilling story comes from a group of paranormal investigators who spent a night at the ancient Ramin. While conducting an EVP, which is an electronic voice phenomena session, in one of the bedrooms. They asked the spirits to communicate with them. They were startled when, almost immediately, they heard a voice on the recording clearly stating, "Leave, you do not belong here." As they reviewed the footage, they also noticed a shadowy figure moving through the room, its form completely indistinct. The most unnerving aspect of the ancient Ramin is the sense that the building itself is cursed. The land it sits on, once a site of pagan worship, and the inn's long history of occult practices and dark rituals, seem to have created a permanent link between the building and the supernatural. Those who visit often report a lingering feeling of unease, as if the house is somehow aware of their presence and is reacting to it. Even today, many claim that the inn's spirits are still restless, and some local legends suggest that the ancient Ramin is doomed to be haunted forever, cursed by the dark forces that were once summoned there. It is a place that invites both fear and fascination, and for some, it is a visit they will never forget, whether they choose to believe in the supernatural or not. The ancient Ramin, a building burdened by centuries of death, suffering, and dark ritual, is a haunting reminder that sometimes the past never truly leaves. It lingers in the cracks of the floorboards, the whispers in the walls, and the chilling cold spots where the spirits of the damned still walk.